Hey everyone, it's Warriors NRL fanatics. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well. If you are a new viewer to the YouTube channel and you haven't done so, please make sure you like this video, like this live stream. If you haven't done so already, click that thumbs up button. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you are subscribing to the YouTube channel. If you are a new viewer and haven't done so already, it's much appreciated. Shows your support of the content. And hello to William Pearson in the chat. How's it going, William Pearson? Hope you're doing well yourself. Hello to Tahi, bro. How's it going, Tahi, bro? Good to see you in the chat. But guys, Warriors Melbourne Storm coming up this Saturday afternoon. A sold out Go Media Mount Smart Stadium. I'm going to preview the game. I'm going to go through my predictions, go through the team list, go through some stats, head-to-head stats, players, key players, and how I think the game's going to be won and lost. So we'll go through it. We'll go preview the game, and hope everyone's doing well. Please give this video live stream a like. Make sure you click that thumbs up button. Share the live stream as well. Please share the live stream around. And also, make sure you are subscribing to the YouTube channel if you are a new viewer and haven't done so already, guys. It all helps the channel, and it gets the word out about the content, guys, and it's much appreciated. It's absolutely free as well. All of it's absolutely free. And, you'll see plenty of Warriors content every week. So, we'll get into it. So we'll get into the team list. We'll discuss the team list again. Go through the team list, have a pop to the teams, both teams, go through my matchups, key matchups, and give my predictions as well for the game coming up on Saturday night, which I can't wait for. I'm really excited. The Warriors looking to go 4 wins in a row. We haven't beaten the Melbourne Storm since 2015. That was the last time we beat the Storm. We came close to beating the Storm down there in Melbourne early this year, and we only lost due to Xavier Coates' try there in the last minute. So hopefully the boys can get a bit of revenge on the Storm this week. It's going to be a tough game. Melbourne obviously sitting on top of the ladder at the moment, and the boys looking to ride high on a 4-game winning streak. They're trying to go 4 wins in a row, and try and climb up even further into that top 8 spot, which we're trying to be aiming for come the back end of the year. So it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a really exciting game. I'm looking forward to it. Man, excited as I always am for a Warriors game, but especially against the Storm, a team that we've had the struggles of over the years. So, we'll go through the team list. So we'll go through the Melbourne lineup. So have a look at the Melbourne team first. We'll look at the Wales team. So the fullback there is Suliavi Falungo, Grant Anderson on the wing with Dean Eremaya and Nick Meaney. Centres, Xavier Coates on the other wing and Tyrone Bushard. 5'8" for Jerome Hughes, and Jerome Hughes halfback. Tui Kamakamika, prop. Harry Grant, hooker and captain. Josh King, the other prop, and Sean Ballor in the second row. With former Warrior Eliasa Katoa in the second row there, with Trent Liero at lock. Benches Bronson Garlic, Christian Welsh, Nelson Asofa Solomona, and Joe Chan. This is 17 reserves for the Storm are young Totamapea, Jack Howarth, and Chris Lewis and Kane Bradley, and that's the Storm reserves. So, hello to Edmund Dufty. How's it going, Edmund Dufty, in the chat? Yeah, hopefully we get our revenge for that loss. Absolutely. So, hopefully we can do the job on Saturday. So, looking at the Warriors team list, of course, the big end of Sean Johnson's back. He's back in the halves with Tamari Martin. So, Tamari Martin's back at 5'8" for Sean Johnson halfback. Chance Cook started fullback, Dale Martinez Zelezniak wing, Rocco Berry, Adam Pompey centres, Fanua Blake prop, Egan hooker, Jackson Ford stays at prop, Murata Niokore second row with Mitch Barney, and Tohu Harris lock. So the bench is Chanel Harris, Tavia, Dylan Walker, Jazz Tavanga, and Kirk Capewell. And that is the Warriors 17. The reserves of Tom Ale, RTS, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Tane Tuapiki, Freddie Lussick, and Jacob Laban. So that is the Warriors side lining up for this week's game. Now, overall, looking at that team list for the Storm, I've got to say that the biggest, obviously, still no Cameron Munster for the Storm. They've got a very strong lineup regardless. I think, obviously, for me, going for the Storm side, I think you look at the key players for them. It's definitely the likes of Nick Meaney, Jerome Hughes is a key player. He's a real key player, important player for the Storm side. But look, the Storm have a strong side. They really do. Only missing Remus Smith. That's the only outs. And of course, no Cameron Munster still. But other than that, it's a good Storm team. It really is. The bench, obviously, with Nelson Sofa-Solomona, he is the one for me that coming off the bench is probably the player that I fear as a Warriors fan, because we know Nelson generally likes to have a big game against the Wars, and hopefully the Warriors can prepare for the impact that Nelson comes into the side. Just looking at the Storm's form this year has been, wow, their form has been great, man. They're sitting on the top of the ladder at the moment. They're going really strongly. They're really going strongly. There have been some games this year where the Melbourne Storm have had to come from behind as well, and they've been pretty. Well, a lot of their games have been, tough, grinding wins. Really, the Storm, and that is why they're doing so well this year. But hello to Spider-Man. How's it going? He's saying, "Kia ora, bro. Wise need to get up quickly of the mark and dominate up front and shut down their backline." Yeah, look, I think if you're looking at the Storm's backline compared to the Warriors' backline, I think the Warriors have a better backline. I think the only player I'm concerned with in the backline is probably Xavier Coates. Because he gave us trouble last time out when we played him. Of course, we would all remember that try in the last second that he scored. As a Warriors fan, it was heartbreaking, that try. But him and Nick Meaney, probably for me, are the outside backs to watch for the Storm this week for the Warriors. But I say our outside backs are a lot better than what the Storm have. Chance Klugstad, obviously Dylan Watini-Zeli, Zach Berry, Pompey, and Montoya. Montoya, up against, I think he's up against Xavier Coates, I think he is. So just looking at it, I think when I look at the Storm backline compared to the Warriors backline, I think the Warriors have got the better backline personally. For me, I just feel like the Storm backline is probably not the best backline, besides Nick Meaney and Xavier Coates, I think, for me. But obviously, there's still no Pappenhausen as well. Fulungo, how's he going to go? I think Fulungo is a very good young player. But I think the Warriors will have the edge with chance to cook that fullback there over Fulungo. Also, I've got to say this, the halves, Tamari Martin, obviously, with up against Wishart, and Shaun Johnson up against Jerome Hughes as well. Shaun Johnson back into the side. It's going to be interesting to see how he combines with Tamari Martin. Tamari Martin has had strong form, the last couple of weeks, when Shaun's not been playing. So, obviously, with Tamari Martin back at 5'8", he's back at his position where he's usually been playing. And Shaun Johnson's back at halfback as well. So, I think the key is going to be to see how either these two combine, because at the start of this year, we had Shaun and Luke Metcalf. We had Shaun and Tamari Martin. And I think when Shaun's played and Tamari Martin's been 5'8", we've not been able to see the best of Tamari Martin. So hopefully we can see the best of both players on Saturday. And not just one player dominating. We want to see both of them have a role to play. And looking at our attack, obviously, hopefully that attack can click with the two, with Tamari Martin and Shaun Johnson, I think. And that's going to be the key for the Warriors in this game, how those two combine together in the Warriors attack as well. So hello to Mel. How's it going, Mel? Hope you're doing well in the chat. And hello to Tahi, bro. Good to see you in the chat as well. And Spider-Man is saying, yes, Shaun Johnson needs to mix his high kicks and low rubber kicks. He plays the same tactic. Exactly right, Spider-Man. I do agree with you on that one. I think, when the fact that during our losing run, our attack was so predictable, so we need to change it up. I hope Shaun can change that up as well. I really do. That's the thing with Tamari Martin over the last couple of weeks. He's been able to, have that strong kicking game and provide a lot of a different, perspective in our attack. So I think Shaun and Tamari Martin is going to be the key to see how those two can combine. I don't want to see one player dominate. I want to see both of them do the role. I don't want to see one person be the dominant half after the other. But yeah, I have to say that Shaun's kicking game will be interesting to see how that all plays a part. But I like looking at our 4-pack. Obviously, there with Fanua Blake, We've got Fanua, but and they've got two Kamika, Egan and Grant. That is going to be a huge important battle on the field on Saturday night. I think the Warriors really need to nullify Harry Grant's game plan. And Harry Grant is such a key player to the Storm and what he brings to their attack as well. And yeah, they're going to have to make sure they slow Harry Grant down because he's a player you don't want to see it going for the Storm, and that'll be dangerous for the Warriors if he gets going. But as well as just looking at Tahi Bros is saying, yeah, hopefully the last few weeks have released that fact and confidence for mine. Yeah, absolutely. I do feel like the confidence will click coming into this game. Especially when you look at the last couple of weeks with the wins we got over the teams that we've played against, the Dolphins, the Panthers, and the Cowboys as well. Very decent sides. Those are all very good sides. And I like the fact that Jackson Ford's staying at prop. I really do. I absolutely love that because Jackson Ford played well last week in that position. And I think it's his position. I really do think it's his position. I think that's where his best footy is at prop. We saw that last week. And the back row is so strong as well with Miranda, Okore, and Barnett as well. Tohu Harris, now it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Tohu. Tohu last week came off the bench. We saw that Webby made a late change there and put Dylan Walker to lock. I can see Dylan Walker playing lock. Actually, I can really see that happening. I think there could be a late change come kickoff time. And I think Walker could go to lock with Harris going back to the bench. I think there's a real possibility of that happening. And with the bench, obviously, you got Chanel there, Chanel Harris-Davida. Chanel can play a role as well. Come on, play a bit of dummy half, bit of hooker. If Egan needs a rest, you've got Dylan Walker as well, who can come and he'll probably start. I think he will start personally. I think he'll get the nod over Harris, and I think Harris will go to the bench come kickoff time. Jay Savung as well, man. Very, very good bench. I really like the bench for the Warriors. But Kurt Capewell as well. Will be interesting to see how he goes in this game. But ideas pressure pass, less pressure pass for Ford. Yeah, absolutely, Tahi, bro. I think with Jackson Ford, the only negative for Jackson Ford has probably been a couple of times where he's been caught out with obstructions. Hopefully he can sort that out. But other than that, he had a great game last week. He really did. So, and he ran the ball strongly. And what we've said about Jackson Ford, he's one of the fittest players at the club apparently. So that shows sign of a hardworking type player that we need. But I'd hope for the sake that with this Warriors lineup, we can all see the real best of this team come Saturday afternoon, and I think we'll definitely see the best of this Warriors team. I mean, look at it. Just look at it. Quite frankly, just for me, key matchups has definitely got to be Warriors for the Warriors. It's got to be Sean up against Jerome Hughes. Sean Johnson for me, obviously the two Kiwi internationals. Sean, how's he going to pull up from, coming back into the side? Generally, you'd like to see his kicking game, his general play options and tag. I think they are the key for the Warriors in getting into, the field position to apply pressure to the Melbourne Storm. We know Melbourne Storm are a very good team defensively, and the Warriors are going to have to be on their game with the opportunities that they take against the Storm, and they've got to take them, of course. They can't not take those chances against the Melbourne team. We know the Melbourne team are a juggernaut side over the years as well. Kicking game is going to be so important. Yes, absolutely, Edmund. It is definitely going to be important. And obviously his kicking game has been predictable this year. I know a lot of people harp on about Sean's experience, and he's an experienced player. I absolutely love Sean, but let's be quite honest, he hasn't really performed this year so far. But we'll hopefully see a fire in his belly come his return on Saturday. I think we will. And after watching all these young players step up lately, he's going to come in and want to have a good, strong back end of the year as well. Then help this team on Saturday. But last year pressure pass balls is where Ford's mistakes were so excellent move. Yeah, I think so too. It definitely is. And I think Ford has proved this year so far. He's definitely shown a lot of improvement from last year, in my personal opinion. Mel saying, I've been a Sean Johnson fan since day one, but I believe it's time for Tamari Martin to shine. I'm becoming a big fan of Tamari Martin. Yeah, I mean, I know some people will, have a bag me up for saying this, but, this year, look, it's not entirely Sean's fault, but he has been part of the unpredictable attack, the predictable attack this year. It's not just his fault. I'm not saying it's his fault, but, he's still a part of the fact that when we went on that losing run, he was part of it. So, you'd hope that coming back into it, he will play to his real best again. Help this team along. It's up to him, Tamari, to step up to the plate. Tamari's been stepping up to the plate the last couple of weeks as well. So that's why I hope that both players can play a part as well, and not just have one player that's dominating on the other side of the field. And we want to see that because we don't want to be predictable against the Storm. Because if we're predictable against the Storm in our attack, it's going to be a bit of a struggle, isn't it? It's going to be a struggle. So, but yeah, look, regards to obviously the key matchups, look, like I said there, I think Sean up against Hughes, Jerome Hughes, the two important players for both sides. Obviously our 4-pack is probably, from me, we've got the best 4-pack on paper, but the Storm's pack isn't too bad. You've got Elias Katoa. I think Elias Katoa is probably going to be the key for the Storm in the forwards. Obviously, you got Trent Liero, Sean Ball, Josh King. They're all underrated players. They're all not your flashiest forwards, but they do all right. But I think Katoa, the Warriors are going to have to watch out for Elias Katoa, because he is having a good season for the Storm. He is having a great year. So they're going to have to keep an eye out for the likes of Elias Katoa in that 4-pack as well. I think he's the one to watch for the forwards in terms of the Storm. But also look out for Nelson as well. Nelson coming off that bench here in the 16 jersey. Nelson seems to always have a big game against the Warriors. It's always those Kiwi players against the Warriors that have massive games. So, Nelson, obviously a big body, offloads the ball, man. The Warriors are going to have to watch out for Nelson as well. But, yeah, Tai's saying you won't be trusted, as I think, but Sean Johnson was overcalling him. Yeah, I think so too. But the game plan for Webby is going to be really interesting come Saturday. It's going to be really, like, what I think could happen is the Warriors could probably adjust their game plan a bit more. I don't know whether we'll go with the same game plan like we did earlier this season. Remember, we did play them earlier this year in Melbourne, and we almost came over the top of them, but, obviously they won it in the last seconds there. So I think with the game plan, the game plan we had against the Cowboys was a good game plan. I like what we did there. I don't know if we will stick with that same game plan with what we did, but I like what we did because the attack was really clicking. Where we showed some great attacking flair, and of course our defense was probably our best defense we've had this year. But also just bear in note that the Cowboys did make a lot of errors in that game as well, which helped with the Warriors getting a lot of field position in that game. So I don't know if the Storm will make as many errors as the Cowboys did, but if the Warriors can force the Storm to make a few errors in the game, defensively be real strong as well. That will be the key for them. But hello to Greg in the chat. Good to see you in the chat, Greg. Looking forward to having Sean Johnson Saturday night up the wires from New Zealand. Yep, it's going to be going to be great to have him back in the side on Saturday. But guys, please like this live stream if you haven't done so already. If you've got any questions or comments, feel free to do so in the live chat in regards to this game this week. But yeah, so regards to all of it, like I said there, I think for Melbourne, the Melbourne Storm, obviously their key is Hughes, and I think what Hughes is going to do is going to dictate what they do on Saturday. And I think with his kicking game, obviously it is important for them. But I look at the Melbourne game plan, what they're going to do. I think their game plan will probably be to give the Warriors a lot of stress and probably the Warriors back five, because I think the Storm will be targeting the Warriors back five as well. The Warriors back five, we have a strong back five that can run the ball very well. So I think the Storm's game plan is going to be to kick it to the corners, and not let the Warriors back five dictate terms and run down the ball. So I run the ball and get as many meters as possible. So I think that's what the Storm game plan will be, to dictate terms. I think that's what Hughes will do. And the Warriors 4-pack and outside backs. I think if the Storm, that's what their game plan will be, just try and stop them as a whole there. But yeah, I'm really excited about the forwards as well. I really like what our 4-pack's doing. So I think the 4-pack will be for us with speed on the edges for the Storm. Yeah, absolutely, I do think so too. I think they will definitely be a real strong point for the Warriors, especially with the Storm. I think the Storm can match in the forwards with the Warriors. And in terms of the outside backs, like I said it earlier, I think the Warriors' outside backs are a lot better. Bearing Meaney and bearing Xavier Coates. I think those are the only two that in the outside backs that I'll be worried about. Falungo as well, who can be a real dangerous player at fullback. But other than that, the Warriors have the wood in the outside backs. I personally think they do. But the forwards, I think the battle is probably more evenly poised. Obviously, with Egan against Grant, like Egan versus Grant, two very quality hookers, two top 5 hookers in the game in the NRL this year, in my personal opinion. And I think the likes of Egan and Harry Grant would dictate terms as well. Like, with Wade Egan, especially what he brings to the Warriors with their attack and the defensive side, with Harry Grant as well, it's the exact same. So, hello to York as well. Hello to York. Hope you're doing well in the chat. Good to see you in the chat there. Hope you're doing well. Good luck to your Roosters this week. So that's just my general take on the players that I think key players for both sides. But just looking at the stats as well so far this year for both teams, and the Warriors, looking at it, are at currently 282 points scored this season, with the Storm at 316. Points conceded, Warriors 255 to the Storm 233. Completion rates 82% so far this season for the Warriors at 79%. Average points scored, the Warriors are scoring 21 to the Storm 26. And average points conceded, Warriors 19, Storm 19 there. So generally speaking, in terms of those stats, man, they're not. There's nothing much too big in terms of those stats actually. But the Storm defensively, obviously, always been a juggernaut when it comes to the defense in the game, NRL, especially over the years. But stats wise, not really much to say. Not too much really in regards to the stats, but obviously with this year, both teams positioned on the ladder at the moment. Warriors are 10th on the ladder, currently on 15 points with 6 wins, 1 draw, and 6 losses. And the Storm sit top on the ladder as well. They're doing pretty well, aren't they? They're doing well enough as it is. But just looking at the Warriors' form guide, the last 3 games we've won. Obviously, Storm have won 3 as well. 9 wins, 3 losses for the Storm, and 2 byes already with 4. With the 4 against the 3, 16 against 223. Home record is 7-1, away record of 2-2, and they are currently on 22 points there. But yeah, the Warriors sit on 15 points with 6 wins, 1 draw, and 6 losses on 15 points. But the Storm's results in the recent weeks: 1 against the Storm. The Storm won against the Knights, 36-28. Lost against Manly 20-26. 1 against the Eels 48-16. Lost against the Sharks 18-24, and 1 against the Titans 22-20 there. So those are the Storm results. And of course, us, we've won our last 3 games there as well. So look, we've got a super chat here from York. Thanks for the super chat, York. He sent a $30.99 super chat. Appreciate the support for the channel, York, and I really appreciate the super chat. Thanks for the super chat, York. Wires are looking dangerous and up the chooks. And hello to Captain Cookie. How's it going, Captain Cookie, in the chat? Good to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well. So those are the stats. Those are results so far. The betting prices actually have got the Warriors at $1.89. Actually, that's drifted out to $1.92. I think it is. Actually, it's gone up. It's actually updated. No, it's actually gone up to $1.91 now in the Storm of $1.92. But the last time I saw those betting prices, it was on Teamless Tuesday, and the prices I've got the Storm at $1.92. Warriors at $1.91. Man, very close odds. Very close odds for both sides there. But Bellyache said he wasn't happy with how easy the Storm went through the middle. Yeah, and looking at the Storm's game over the Knights last week, which I definitely went back and had a look at the highlights. And I've got to say that the Storm's defence wasn't great. It wasn't great, to be honest. The defence has been good all season, but the Knights definitely had their opportunities against the Storm. So the Warriors will no doubt come up against a more determined defensive side this week in the Storm. So we're going to have to be on our game, especially with our attack and our opportunities. I think the most important thing for the Warriors is definitely how they start the game against the Storm, because I think if you let the Storm get out to a good start, well, it's going to be difficult to chase them down because they could definitely grind us out. But I'm very confident with the side at the moment. I really am, and I don't want to be overconfident, but this team has got the capabilities at the moment, and the confidence is there after the last couple of weeks to get this result. And the interesting thing will be playing at home as well with sold out crowd. How much of a boost it's going to be? It's going to be a massive boost, of course, because having those fans on our side, cheering on the boys come kick off, and the amount of noise, of course, that the Warriors supporters will make. But of course, in New Zealand as well, there are a few Melbourne supporters, I believe, as well in New Zealand, so they will have a bit of support for the Storm as well. So. Yeah, I mean, it is a game where I can't wait for. I really can't wait for. But, how's Harris Tavita going to go in the 14 coming off the bench? Also, another real interesting thing as well for me. Wade Egan, is he going to get a full 80 minutes, or are we going to see Chanel come in at hooker, play a bit of hooker as well, maybe play in the forwards? But it'll be interesting to see how many minutes CHT gets. Still a walk-up, man. I think Dylan Walker's got to be starting. I think he's got to be starting for this game. But I think our bench rotation will be good this week. Good to have a good bench back. Absolutely do. I agree with you there on that one, Tahi, bro. I think our bench is strong. I think the only player, like I said, for the Storm that I think for me is a threat is Nelson. Nelson and Soka Solomona. The other players, yes, you've got Christian Welsh, you've got Joe Chan, they're all pretty good players. But Nelson's definitely one to watch in terms of that bench for the Storm. But I do feel like the bench is quality for the Warriors. It's a quality bench as well. But York is saying if he's trying to score Jackson Ford or Sean Johnson, he's going for very interesting predictions. And Williams going with a Storm by 8. There, Storm by 8 for him, as he's a Melbourne fan, of course. Look, overall, looking at it now, I'm just going to give my final take and how I think the game's going to go. So, generally, as a Warriors fan, of course, I'm going to be backing the boys. And it's a guarantee I'll be backing the team to win this game. My keys for victory for the Warriors is definitely going to be notifying that the dangers of Harry Grant and attack. Pile the likes of pressure on the likes of Xavier Coates and Nick Meaney. And I think also the threats to Melbourne Storm, their attack as well. The kick pressure. For the Storm, it's definitely going to be, the usual Swiss seed from the Storm. For them, is the keys to victory will be their defence and obviously, completing their sets and their discipline as well. They know what they're up against. They're going to New Zealand, hostile crowd, in New Zealand against the Warriors. And they won't mind it. They definitely won't mind it. They don't mind being the team that goes there. And look, I think the betting's got. I'm surprised that the betting hasn't got the Melbourne Storm as favourites, despite the Warriors being at home there. So, yeah. Mel is saying the Warriors by 4. York's saying the Warriors will go up at the start. Yeah, look, I think so too. I hope we go up at the start. I think we need to be going. We need to start well in this game. And we started well against the Cowboys last week, and that was so critical because we applied plenty of pressure to the Cowboys early on, and then, we went on with the job. So I think the start's going to be crucial for the Warriors against the Storm side. If we let the Storm get off to a start, then, it's going to be a bit tricky. But, yeah, keys for the Warriors, like I said there, nullifying their dangerous players, the likes of Nick Meaney, Coates, kicking to corners, put a bit of pressure on. Don't let the likes of Coates and Meaney dictate. Don't let Harry Grant dictate the attack. Keep him rather quiet. Make sure you put plenty of pressure on Jerome Hughes as well. Put lots of pressure on his kicking game. Don't let him get an easy bit of field position there. And also, like for the Warriors, it's based on the fact they're taking the opportunities when they come. Also, when they're in the positions, minimise the errors, complete sets, the usual discipline, penalty count. Our discipline last week against the Cowboys was very good. Our first, was our opening 20 minutes, we hardly made a mistake. So we're going to have to do exactly the same against the Storm side, because the Storm aren't top of the ladder for no reason, right? It's not a slouch. The reason why they're top of the ladder is because they're going so well. But all the basics, really, just got to do all the basics. Egan versus Grant will be a big battle. It absolutely will be, York. It will definitely be a big battle for sure. And just going through the comments, guys, bear with me. Yeah, it'll be a good, hard game, but I believe we will break the 10-year drought. Yeah, 10 years. We haven't won against the Storm since 2015. 2015 was the last time we beat them. And that game, everyone should remember it. The Nathan Friend backflip. It was one of the most craziest bit of movements for Lola here to score. That was the last time we won it. And also the Michael Moore Trophy is also on the line as well in this game. The Michael Moore Trophy. And we last won that was 2015. Was 28-14 at the time in Auckland. And yeah, we had the likes of Nathan Friend playing for us. We had Lola here playing for us. So that was the last time we won against the Storm. Funny enough, we came close against them earlier this year in Melbourne. But yeah, this is a real opportunity for the boys. Real opportunity. We haven't had an opportunity like this in a real long time. The Storm won't be an easy game, no doubt about it. It'll be tough. It'll be physical. It will be a hard game. We know that. Craig Bellamy will have his Storm side up for a challenge, and we will need to be ready. We'll definitely need to be ready, and I know we will be. We will definitely will be. But yeah, I think this will be a game of real physical, tough preference. I think it'll be pretty low. I think it actually will be one of those low-scoring games, I think, for me. The Warriors defensively aren't doing too bad as well the last couple of weeks. So I think it'll be a real hard slog fest against the Storm side. So, yeah. And Mel's saying here, Hughes is so good. Yeah, he is definitely so good. He is going to want to have a big one. He's back home in New Zealand as well. All of the Kiwi players love to go back home. And against the Warriors, we know they like to play good against us. So hopefully we can make sure that doesn't happen. But yeah, you're saying some big battles will be a rocket of a game this round. Absolutely. I think possibly might be the game of the round. I might be calling that, even though I'm biased, but I think this might be a game of the round, in my opinion. But yeah, the Sharks forward Malachi's playing like a back against the Broncos, and the Wales play them. The Sharks playing, yeah, absolutely, yep, for sure. But yeah, I think I'm going to give my prediction now, guys. So just on my prediction for this game, I'm going to go with the Warriors to win, of course. Going Wars, Warriors 20. Actually, no, we'll go Warriors 18 points to 12. I was going to say 28-24, but I think this will be a low-scoring game. I'm hoping that our defense is on song, and I'm hoping that our attacking game plan is going to be the key. It's going to be important. So that and the defense and doing just all the basics we usually would need to see to get up and get this result up against the Storm to go 4 wins in a row as well. But yeah, so just a comment here from the Liberate Your Slack. Hello, the Liberate Your Slack saying here, I just want to see our defence maintain strengths from the last few weeks. Pompey and Montoya hasn't been fighting it. The line on kick chase has been solid. Keep those trainers, and we've got it. Absolutely, I do agree with you on that one. For sure. Definitely got to do that. You're absolutely right there with the way we need to defend and the way we defended against the Cowboys. We defended very well. Be very physical with the Storm side. We don't need to try and look to score on every set. Do what we did in the last couple of weeks, man. We just need to do what we need to do the last couple of weeks for sure. But hello to Jose. Good to see you in the chat, bro. Hope you're doing well. Jose is asking me a question. So he's saying, do you think that you'll get Glenn Armour back on the channel? That episode you did with him was one of my favourites. You never know, Jose. You never know. We'll see. We'll definitely see. But There's definitely a chance we could get him back on if he wants to come back on. That is, if he's free, if he's available, he's more than welcome to come on the channel anytime. But we'll see what happens. We'll give him a message and see what he's doing over the next couple of weeks. But I'd love to get him back on, maybe chat about the Warriors games coming up. But York is saying, what is your least favourite team in the NRL? Least favourite team, York, you probably don't want to know this. It's definitely not your Roosters. It's the Sharks. It's the Sharks for me. They are my least favourite. Storm are my least favourite. Yeah, love them all, yeah. And Jono, hello to John in the chat. Good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well. He is saying here, will you vlog next week's game against the Gold Coast? Absolutely, I will be vlogging that game. I am going to be attending for sure, like I do every year. I'm looking forward to that game. Really looking forward to it. As a member, of course, I've got a free ticket, so I'll be able to go for free, being a Queensland member, Warriors supporter member. So I've got a free ticket to that game. So I'll be going for sure. And I will be doing a vlog on the channel. So there'll be content on the channel for that game as well. There'll be previews, reviews, of course, and also my vlog next week. But yeah, so just before I wrap it up, if you've got any more questions or comments, feel free to put them through. I've just given you guys my prediction. Oh yeah, my first try scorer. I've got to go give you guys my first try scorer for the game. I'm going to go with Dallin. Dallin Watini is leading out first try and anytime try score. We'll go with SJ. And we'll go with Adam Pompey as well, a man who's been in form for the Centres over the last couple of weeks. And for Noah Blake, why not? For Noah Blake seems to have a habit of scoring tries and maybe one of those crash ball plays to go over to score from a Wade Egan pass or maybe off a Sean Johnson rubber kick and Fanua Blake pounces. So we'll go with Fanua Blake anytime, Pompey anytime, and Sean Johnson anytime try scorers. First try score will go Dallin. Warriors by 18 points to 10. 18 to 10 for me. And William Pearson saying Xavier Coates first try scorer. Edmond Duffy saying great show, bro. See you. Cheers, Edmond Duffy. Good to see you in the chat, and yeah, have a good one, bro, as well. But yeah, mainly hate the commentators. Tahi bro says, yeah, man, look, I definitely prefer the New Zealand commentators. I actually prefer Glenn Lama over the likes of listening to Blocker. I'm not gonna lie. I prefer to listen to him more than Blocker. And Andrew Voss. I think Andrew Voss is the only Aussie commentator that I like personally. From Fox. Warren Smith is not too bad. I don't mind Warren Smith, but other than that, Ray Warren as well. He's one of probably the greatest commentators of all time, in my opinion. But those are the only commentators probably that I like in terms of the Aussie ones over here. But obviously listening to Blocker and the likes, and Green Alexander's been pretty annoying lately, hasn't he? Like, it's quite negative, isn't he, about the Warriors at times? Last week when against the Cowboys, he was trying to talk up a comeback. The Cowboys down 36-16, which was bloody ridiculous, then, wasn't it? Like, 36-16, you ain't going to come back from that. Let's be quite real. Like, come on. But Johnny's saying here, Darwin Watini's listening 2 tries, Coates, or any try score in Warriors 1-12. That's a good prediction. York again with another super chat. York, you've been on fire with these super chats lately, man. I really appreciate the super chat. He's saying here, he sent a 30.99 super chat. Great stream, Fanatics. Go the wires and up the chalk. So I really do appreciate that. Really do. You don't need a super chat to show your support, York, but I do appreciate it nonetheless. But thanks for that, York. Really appreciate that super chat. And Tahi Bro is saying here, seventh. What's he saying? Just to think he was our captain. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. York the man, bro. Absolutely. Hello to Richard in the chat. Good to see you, Richard. Hope you're doing well. Jose is saying here, thank you, York, for the continued support for the channel. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the continued support. I don't ask for donations. I don't ask for super chats. But super chats are always appreciated. They're always appreciated on this channel. So if you do want to send a super chat or be means, feel free to if you want to, but you don't have to. So thanks to York for doing that. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, that wraps it up. I'm going to wrap this up, guys. That's the preview. Just also want to give a bit of a note as well, a bit of an announcement on some other content that's coming up on the channel. So I've got a show tomorrow, guys. Just a reminder, show tomorrow on the YouTube channel. It's called The Panel Show, episode number 3. and that will be with a few Warriors content creators and another special guest as well. I've got Sam Hewitt from the SENZ's radio radio coming on for a chat. We've also got Warrior Holic, and we've got Ash as well coming on. So 3 special guests on tomorrow night. We're gonna do a chat. We're gonna chat around the preview of the Warriors game. We'll have a bit of a recap on the Cowboys game, and talk about some all the general topics in the Warriors world at the moment as well. So tune in for that one tomorrow afternoon, guys. 6:30 Australia time. 6:30 New Zealand time. Sorry, 6:30 New Zealand time, and 4:30 Australia time. We'll be live on the YouTube channel with Warrior Holic, Sam Hewitt, and Ash Thomas as well. So got those guys coming on for a chat. Have a chat about the game this week. Recap the Cowboys game and talk about some other general topics around the Warriors world at the moment. So tune in for that one. But guys, that is it. That wraps it up. That's my preview done for the game this week. If you're watching it back, please give this video live stream a like. Click that thumbs up button. And if you are a new viewer to the YouTube channel, please, absolutely please, it's much appreciated. It really helps the channel, shows your support. Please subscribe, guys. Make sure you click that subscribe button. Subscribing to the channel is absolutely free as well. It all helps the channel to grow. And, it's much appreciated. And, it helps the content. And it helps the algorithm as well. So everything does help. Subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. It all really does help, guys. So it's much appreciated. But, guys, also, I want to give a shout-out to all the Warriors content creators again. Like I usually, I feel like giving a shout-out to them. Yeah, they do a lot of great work in the community. Shout out to Wise Up TV. Shout out to Ash. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to all the Warriors content creators, guys. They do a great job. It's all about sharing love, showing support to the whole Warriors content community as well. And everyone does their work. Everyone's doing their job pretty well. And shout out to them legends. But guys, that is it for me. That wraps it up. Like the live stream, like I said before. Please give this live stream a thumbs up. Share the video. Share the live stream. If you are watching it back, please comment your predictions and thoughts for the Warriors game coming up. Can't wait for the Storm Warriors on Saturday. Can't wait for the footy round this week. Looking forward to it. Plenty of great games coming up. And, you guys will be seeing me again tomorrow. I'm going live on the channel again tomorrow. And that will probably be it for the week. But, I'll definitely have some content out post the game and review of the game as well. So have a good one, everyone. Up the Wars. Go the Warriors. And hopefully we break that long losing streak against the Storm on Saturday. Have a good one, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon with the panel show episode 3 with fellow Warriors content creators. Have a good one. Up the Wars. Up the Wars.